My name is Alex Linville. I'm the director of the American Institute of Studies and the author of The American Way, the AIOS Handbook series. This is going to be a series of lessons that go along with this book. It has 4 sections: pronunciation, conversation, grammar, and business writing. Because the book has the pronunciation and conversation dialogues on the web page, I am only going to focus on the grammar and the writing. Each lesson from the book I'll go through with you, and we will talk about how that idea can be better explained through speech, not just through the writing in the book. So I hope you enjoy these lessons. Please go back and watch them again and use them to help you better understand the information in the book. Hello! The first lesson we'll look at is Lesson 25, the first lesson of grammar. In this lesson, we look at ending punctuation. Now, every sentence must have 3 things. Must have a subject, must have a verb, and must have punctuation. Now, some punctuation comes in the middle. Punctuation like commas, semicolons, colons. But we're not interested in mid-sentence punctuation. With this lesson, we look at the end. And there's only 3 kinds of punctuation that can finish a sentence. So if you have a subject and a verb, and you want to end your sentence, you can use a period, a question mark, or an exclamation mark. So if you look in the book on page 87, you will see the list of the 4 kinds of sentences. Each sentence uses its own punctuation. Now, 2 of the sentences use a period. We have the declarative, I'll write just DEC for short, and we have the imperative. I will write IMP for short. These 2 kinds of sentences use a period. A period is for normal information, for what we call in English a statement. A statement is just basic information. It's raining today is an example. Or, it's very hot this morning. The sentences can be long or they can be short. They just must have a subject and a verb and tell basic information. So in the book, you can see the examples. My dad and I need a new car. This is a good book I'm reading. I forgot to eat breakfast this morning, so I feel really tired. Notice the first 2 sentences are shorter, and the last one is longer. The length is not important. It's just whether it's a statement that matters. So let's continue on page 88. Let's look at an imperative sentence now. This also is a statement, but it gives a command. A command is when you order something. Go home is a command. You are telling someone to go back home. Now, what's the subject? For a command, the subject is usually you. But you don't write it. So in the sentence, go home, with a period on the end, the subject is you, but you don't write it. In English we say it's understood, and understood you. When you listen, you know the subject is you. So let's look at the examples on page 88. Please shut the door for me. Give me that folder over there. Please stop what you're doing. So these commands are very gentle, not a lot of emotion. So we use a period. If there's a lot of emotion, we'll talk about this in a minute, you use an exclamation point. But for now, these are very gentle commands, very soft. Please shut the door for me. Very polite and kind. So the next kind of punctuation is a question mark. The question mark ends a question. If you are asking for information, you use a question mark. Let's look at the examples. What are you doing today? Who is coming to the party tonight? Is this your plane ticket? So somebody is asking a question. They want to know whose plane ticket. Or, what are you doing today? This kind of sentence is called interrogative. Interrogative means question. It's a question sentence and must finish with a question mark. Hopefully that one's easy for you. An interrogative sentence, it makes sense. You ask a question, you finish with a question mark. Different from declarative and imperative, which both use a period, but more difficult because you have to choose. What kind of sentence ends with a period? Now let's look at the last kind of sentence. It's called exclamatory, and it uses an exclamation point. Now exclamation points give a lot of emotion. Can be happy, sad, angry, disappointed. Any strong emotion uses an exclamation point. Look at the examples at the bottom of page 88. I'm so angry. Get away from me. What a beautiful day. So the first two use bad emotion, anger or sadness. The last one is a happy emotion. What a beautiful day. Now you'll see example 2, get away from me, is a command. Get away from me. So it could use a period. Could be imperative. But remember, strong emotion means you use an exclamation point. For these two kinds of sentences, imperative and exclamatory, you must decide how much emotion. Is it soft or hard? So I recommend you do the practice exercise at the top of page 89. The answers are in the back of the book. If you have any questions, please feel free to email or post a question on any AIOS Facebook website or send an email to the staff. They would be happy to answer your questions. So we will now move on to comma usage and look at how to use one of these mid-sentence types of punctuation.